This week on To the Contrary.
Behind the headlines, one young lady's quest to become an Eagle Scout.
Hello, I'm Bonnie Ray. Welcome to the Contrary, a discussion of news and social trends from diverse perspectives. Up first, women's work and politics. Behind the headlines, the Boy Scouts are now fully accepting girls. Having welcomed girls into the Cub Scouts program last year, the Boy Scouts now will accept girls into their flagship program, which has been renamed Scouts BSA. We speak to Sydney Ireland, who is trying to become one of the first girls to achieve the rank of Eagle Scout.
When she called my office and said she was going to, now they were changing their policies going forward, we went to the Fearless Girl down at Wall Street and celebrated. She's definitely a fearless girl. She's broken down a barrier for other young women that come after her. She's a role model already. I'm very, very proud of her.
I'm waiting for approval from the National Boy Scouts, and I really hope they recognize my accomplishments and the accomplishments of other young women that completed rank and requirements as well.
Sydney Ireland is trying to become one of the first female Eagle Scouts in the Boy Scouts program, which is now called Scouts BSA. To achieve this rank, the scout must earn badges, serve as a troop leader for 6 months, participate in a conference, and complete a service project. Ireland has completed the tasks, but only unofficially for the moment.
When I was 11, I unofficially achieved the Arrow of Light, which is the highest award in the Cub Scouts, and then I really wanted to continue with the program, and I realized that girls weren't officially allowed to be in the program, and I really wanted to make that change because there are so many opportunities that come from achieving the Eagle Scout. It wasn't fair that only men got to achieve that.
Ireland was New York Democratic Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney's guest for the State of the Union address this year.
I have the privilege of representing her and her family, and they reached out to me. She reached out to me when she was trying to be accepted by the Boy Scouts. So I joined her plight, writing letters, making phone calls, advocating for her to have the opportunity to compete and to be an Eagle Scout. And she has completed the work to do that.
The Boy Scouts change has been challenged on two fronts. One has come from the Girl Scouts, a similar but entirely separate organization. Some experts have wondered whether the Boy Scouts move could be the death knell for the Girl Scouts, but Representative Maloney, a former Girl Scout, told us those concerns are overblown.
The Girl Scouts are alive and well, thriving and growing. And it's an individual choice, but I guess you can speak.
Yeah.
Why did you want the Boy Scouts and not the Girl Scouts?
Yeah, there are so many opportunities that come from being a Boy Scout, and there are great ones in the Girl Scouts as well. And I think it's an amazing organization for some girls, but for me, the Boy Scouts was the suitable option, and it's all about choice for women.
The other backlash against the Boy Scouts' decision came from traditionalists within the organization who rejected big changes the organization has made. According to Ireland's father, she has even received targeted harassment from some Scout masters.
A lot of people are afraid to see change sometimes, but I think that there's such an opportunity now with young women being able to be full members of Scouts, and I'm so excited for the future of Scouting because so many amazing leaders come out of Scouting, and that wasn't available for them a couple years ago. And I really wanted to have the opportunity to achieve the Eagle Award and have other young women achieve that as well because it's such a prestigious honor.
So, former Congresswoman Donna Edwards, first of all, I have two questions for you, sorry. First of all, since she went into the Boy Scouts, should she not accept or have anticipated such discrimination? And secondly, why don't the Girl Scouts just create an honor that's equally prestigious for girls who want to get it and won't have to be fighting to get it.
Well, I'm going to confess, I'm a Girl Scout. Once a Girl Scout, always a Girl Scout. And I think that if Sydney wants this for herself, she should be able to achieve that. And the Eagle Scout is the highest award, and as a girl, she should be able to do it. Girl Scouts also have a Gold Award. And when you compare the requirements for the Gold Award actually exceed the requirements for the Eagle Scout. It needs to be promoted and elevated too. And for the girls who want to pursue Girl Scouts, that's great. And if Sydney and other girls want to pursue the Eagle Scout Award, which does open up doors and opportunities and kind of a fraternity of Eagle Scout Award women throughout industry, military, and you name it. And so it is a prestigious honor, and she should be able to do it if she's allowed into the Boy Scouts.
Okay, but since the Girl Scouts has the Gold Award, as you described it, why isn't that seen as prestigious as being an Eagle Scout? And secondly, you say that Girl Scouts are thriving. I hear differently from a friend who's on the board of a regional group that this is hurting them, the fact that girls can join the Boy Scouts.
Well, I don't think that we've yet seen overwhelming numbers of girls joining the Boy Scouts. The Girl Scouts is a different organization. I've visited troops all across the country that in fact are thriving, and they're encouraging girls to go into STEM fields. They're encouraging girls to be leaders. I think that there will continue to be a role for Girl Scouts, and there'll be a select number of girls who will want to join the Boy Scouts.
I'm a little out of my depth here. I was not a Girl Scout, but what I will say is that I do think Sydney's a trailblazer. I applaud her effort to try to go a route that was comfortable for her. That's what she wanted to pursue as a Boy Scouts. I sense that she's experienced some level of discrimination, as many have, trying to break into boys or male-based networks, if you will. But I like the fact that she's in a position to be able to have that choice, and that we're sort of removing some of these gender-based perceptions we have about young girls not wanting to fish or learn how to tie knots, if you will. So maybe we'll have boys that want to go sell cookies too at some point.
Right, and that's another discrimination, by the way. Did the Boy Scouts have to sell cookies for their
they sell
funds?
Popcorn and other stuff.
Right.
They sell stuff.
Well, exactly.
And like Girl Scouts.
And not knowing exactly what it entails, I do get the sense that at least there's opportunities that maybe are different that appeal to Sydney more so than being a part of the Girl Scouts.
Well, I'm reporting for duty here as a Girl Scout troop leader who is also married to an Eagle Scout. So I want to say that I am 100% on Team Sydney here, and to see her sitting next to Representative Maloney and wearing an ERA yes button while she may well be one of the first Eagle Scouts in the country, I think is beautiful. I'm almost tearing up thinking about it. And so I think it's not an either or, it's a both and. On the question of the cookies themselves, I just like to challenge that a little bit. These cookies are incredibly popular. I don't know anyone who's excited for the Boy Scouts popcorn. I'm not sure that they're actually selling anything. This is teaching girls business skills, and it's actually very important. And so it's something that's likable. It's filling a niche that people want and like. And they're learning how to go out door to door and knock doors and make money.
Oh, well, but in this day and age, I'm not so sure knocking on doors is a good opportunity, because people don't open doors anymore, but maybe they did 20, 30 years ago, but they're getting much more security conscious now. But it's a discrimination to me, because the boys don't have to sell something to get their funding. They're funded by donors, by grants, whatever it is, by government, I don't know. But the girls have always had to go out there and beg for their money, and I know Girl Scouts who've seen this as a form of discrimination.
I think that's fair, but these are two entirely different programs that were set up in two entirely different ways. And ultimately, what I see the cookie program doing is it's teaching girls grit. And these are skills that people need to be able to set goals for ourselves, to say, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to go get this. I'm going to network. I'm going to achieve what I've set out to achieve. So I'm not sure it's necessarily discrimination in the sense that Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts were not founded by the same person who said, you know what, we're going to pay for the boys and make the girls pay for themselves.
Yeah. I was a brownie. I sold the most cookies in my troop, so, early on.
Good business woman.
Right there, yeah. But Boy Scouts do have to do some fundraising. I don't know what all the numbers are, but look, I think this is all fine. The one thing that does bother me, though, is when I look at girls and think, and I see them thinking like somehow I'm only really achieving it if I get the award that everybody recognizes the boys award. Like why isn't the gold award as prestigious as the Eagle Scout
because
award?
it's just
and we're going to keep talking about it so that we can
to
make
raise it up, because I just don't
to
think it
raise
should
it
be
up.
like the only way I'm going to be equal is if I can do it what he's doing. Like, well, why shouldn't he try to be getting the gold award? I mean,
if you joined, if a woman, you're the first woman on an NFL football team, you don't expect discrimination when you get there. There's something a little bit wrong with you. But we will continue this discussion. That's it for this edition, however. Please follow me on Twitter and go to our website, pbs.tothecontrary /to the contrary. And whether you agree or think to the contrary, see you next week.